Once again, we are back. Episode 81, the Best of Rivals podcast. It's me, your boy Jordon J. Will. Toddy P, how you feeling, bro?
And for obvious reasons, slot ball is up, baby. What's good?
Yes, as my brother has said, the Premier League season as well underway, and Liverpool last game against Man United. I'm not gonna dive right into it, but we got smacked again. Everybody's surprised. I'm not. Todd's happy. My boy also just moved too, so shouts to you. You doing your thing. Before we get the potty started, right? Best of Rivals, like I said, episode 81. We at it again. You have been doing your thing on the creative side, cooking. So I got to give you a shout. I'm proud of you, bro. Let me know how that experience has been as an artist and dropping your content.
Obviously, I've been dropping all the content in Chicago, but obviously, I make music under the same name, Todd. And it's going well. I'm just happy to finally be making and putting it out because, I was always on the edge of if I was ever going to put the music out. So
Yeah.
thanks for having the support from, brothers like you there to help me out. It's what I need, bro. So it means the world. And, now I'm here in Austin, just, all in the warmth, melting and shit. But
Nah, that's love, bro.
experience, and it's just like it's new chapters for me. It's new chapters for Liverpool. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
Yeah. No, keep it up. Be consistent with it. You've been doing this for a long time, and I'm glad to see you actually put it out and get feedback, and go from there. So, like I said, be consistent with it. But continuing with the Premier League season, Liverpool's looking great, but we got to talk about the obvious, and that's Man City. And I bring up Man City because Pep, talking to the reporters after the game, and Pep is really clever and says some slick shit to the media all the time. Always some slick shit, some shit that makes you think, that makes you wonder. And he brings up the fact that they're undefeated right now. They're top dog, top of the league with you. You both share 9 points, 3 wins. But they've been routing people, in my opinion. It looks like Man City is in full form, but the levels, the disparity between, the clubs, it's obvious. Pep comes out and said, that was preseason. That was preseason. How do you feel? As a Liverpool fan, you're right there with him, right? He comes
I'm
out
not
and
mad
says
at
that
it.
he says that look, the teams that we played Chelsea, didn't they? Didn't they play Chelsea? And that I believe so. These teams they played, they weren't worthy of the actual season. We're in the actual season right now. He said it was preseason. How do you feel?
Look at both the preseason numbers. I look at the numbers today. As much as I want to hate what he says, he gets to say that. He's deserving of that for what he's done. I've got 115 reasons why I don't think Man City deserves all the credit, but as an actual manager, Pep Guardiola he gets to talk that shit, if you will. At the end of the day, just looking at it, they've already won the Community Shield. They've beaten Chelsea 2-0. They butchered Ipswich, just like we did, and they beat West Ham. They've given up goals. And I thought I might see a little bit of a different team. You're losing Alvarez, but then we're seeing Savinho come in and just absolutely balling. Holland is playing out of his mind. He even scored a goal from outside the 18-yard box. I think we're going to see another year of Man City really, beating up on teams. And if there's any team like Liverpool or Arsenal that want to keep up with it, they're going to have to find some form like that. But this is kind of what it is. Man City are doing what we're expecting Man City to do. And it's not a surprise to me. It shouldn't be a surprise to you.
At some point, this
Yeah.
all has to fucking stop. We're all fed up. I know I am. I came along with Man United at the very end. I got one title that I saw, in my stage as a Man United fan. So I didn't get the golden years with Sir Alex. I didn't see all that shit with Giggsy and those boys. I didn't. I've been in the in a very, very sad part of my life right now with Man United. We don't win titles. And the team that's doing it is the club that's on the other side of Manchester. Blue. So for me, I'm waiting on that moment. Liverpool, you guys were at some point that big club with Madrid, for those 3-4 years. And then you got hit. You got humbled. Man City has been on the up and up for a while now, especially in the English league. We know that.
It is easy to stay on the up and up when you've got money like that, and you've got one of the best coaches who's ever coached.
So it's interesting. I mean, it's very interesting that you bring that up because the money, right, and the way that they do things. I find it very, very funny how I think they came out and said they're gonna postpone, or they keep postponing the judgment of
the 115 charges.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Do it right now. Condemn those motherfuckers because they petty.
I get where you're coming from. I, as a Liverpool fan, as I don't care how mean this sounds. I want them to be treated like Juventus. Juventus did some foul stuff. They were relegated.
Yeah.
You can't, as a Liverpool fan, I would like for their, strip them of their titles and hand them over to us. But it's not real. Like, it would be sitting with, for me as a fan, I wouldn't have as much love for those titles because they weren't given to us the first time. You got to find a way to punish them for what they've done. I mean, this is stemming from sideline controversies to extra time. I don't know how far this basis goes, but if these charges are legitimate, and we've seen Everton deducted points, right?
Yeah.
You saw, I think it was Brentford deducted points. But Everton was the big one for me. They deducted points from Everton like it was nothing. And if you're taking even 5 points, 10 points from some of these clubs, I think if Man City is guilty of even half of their charges, I think there needs to be a discussion of relegation. I really do. I think that's the best play to be able to teach a team of this magnitude a lesson. If you just fine them, they'll pay the fine.
I don't ever want to hear Everton again in my life. They're bums. They are bums. And I hope they get relegated this year because they avoid it seems like
Everton
every
fan,
year.
I'm not an Everton fan. I'm not going to stick up for them, but when you have, I think it was either Brentford or Nottingham Forest, and then you got Everton, you're willing to punish the small teams on the bottom of the table because it's not likely going to affect someone. But, we have how many titles between Liverpool and Man City that didn't go Liverpool's way, and we're talking about margins that are under 6 points. That's massive to me. Now, you can't strip them of their titles and just hand them off to us. But if you couldn't punish them then, I agree with you. Punish them now. But I think if you punish them mid-season, it's messy. I think you do it at the beginning of a season, or you make a decision in January about how they're going to be affected the next summer.
Yeah.
Let them play out this season, and then there's that possibility that they go and they get relegated next year, or a major point deduction. Something needs to be done to make this even.
Okay.
I also wouldn't mind them being done like Chelsea. Do you remember years ago where Chelsea was banned from the Champions League for a year or something?
Yeah. They got hit. And they got one thing about them.
They got their first Champions League being cheaters.
You know
what? Fuck them.
One thing about them. One thing about them, they took it on the chin. They took that shit on the chin. That one year where they had to sit out, and they came back, and whatever. I feel like Man City's avoiding it, and they're winning. They have a lot of star power. So that's pushing ratings, marketing.
They bring a lot of money for the league. I think if they didn't bring in the money they did, the stars they have. Yeah, I mean, if you do this to Man City, you're taking KDB, Rodri, Erling Haaland, Phil Foden. You're taking big names off.
You gotta keep it real. You gotta keep it real. Man City fans, they don't want to admit this, and this is why I don't fucking like them. That's why they don't like me. They're all Barcelona fans too. They come from that Barcelona blood.
Ooh.
Because of Pep. And Pep has that influence. He has that.
I found a few of those boys. suddenly slide over to start support Man City when things weren't looking too
Well, it's
hot
not
these
looking.
last few
Yeah, come
years.
on,
Yeah, a
come
little
on,
fair weather nonsense.
come
You know what
on,
I'm saying?
bro.
But whatever.
Yeah.
I can't do none of
Um.
that. But yeah, they need to be humbled. They need to be brought back down to earth. I mean, plenty of teams, big teams, Juventus, Chelsea, they've been punished. Man City should be treated no different. These are a lot of charges. I want them condemned.
Um. No, I agree with you on that. But I do want to know, bro. The last 2-3 years, it has not been a rivalry. Liverpool, Man United, we both know we're nemesis, right? Like Man City and United, that's one thing. That's the home turf. But Liverpool and United, that goes way back. You think you have more trophies than we
This
do? No, you're
podcast
not.
is
You
about to
think
be
you got more
called like
trophies than
best
we
of
do, and that's
participants
not
because we
true.
ain't even rivals no more.
And but my point is, recently though, you guys have been routing us, bro. And 3-0. 3-0. Ten Hag. To me, the lineup was damn near almost perfect. But then I pinpointed almost right. I pinpointed something that I've been preaching since day one, and I've been quiet. I've been quiet. I've been letting people see for themselves what I've been talking about. But when Casemiro came along, I was the very first person that said I am not for it, and people told me
They called
no.
you crazy.
They
They
called me
called you
crazy.
crazy.
They called me
Yeah,
crazy. I said, hey,
yeah.
listen to me. I understand that Casemiro is a winner and he's a phenomenal player, but he's old as fuck and he wants a paycheck. And what are we all seeing right now? He's old as shit. He's making mistakes. Mistakes, bro. Costly.
Mistakes. You look at the 3-0 win
Come
specifically.
on.
As a Liverpool fan, I loved seeing him in that lineup. It actually amazes me how, even if you don't like Scott McTominay and you let him go to Napoli,
Bye,
that would have
Scotty.
been but that still would have been better than playing Casemiro. He's making
No.
mistakes that are just at
No.
this point amateur.
Scotty isn't good enough either, and that's my point. So fuck Casemiro. Right. I move past him. I move
You
past
have the
him.
new signing. You have
I
the
move
new signing.
I move past Casemiro. We know he's a problem. You have a young Kabi who another issue I've brought up with my fans, with my club. Stop hyping up these young talents. I didn't like it when you did it with Garnacho. He's not there yet. He's not good enough. Kabi is good, but stop it with he's the star boy. He's the best to do it. He should win. Stop it. Let him come up the right way. This pressure you're putting on his shoulders, he can't handle it. When you got an old ass Casemiro in the midfield with you who can't do shit. I'm fed up with it, bro. Stop it right there. And then I
Yeah,
move
he
along.
can't
No,
make
wait.
that pivot.
I'm not done.
Yeah.
I told you I've been silent with this issue for a minute, but they've been blowing me, bro.
All right, all
Then
right,
I
all
move
right.
on. Bruno Fernandes, I'm coming to you next. I said it since day one. I'm going to say it again. You're a good player. Yes, we all know that. You're not a winning player. We cannot win with you. We will never win a title that's worthy with Bruno Fernandes. Not a Prem, not a Champions League. I don't give a shit about a Carabao Cup. I don't give a shit about a fucking FA Cup. I want a Prem or I want a Champions League. Stop it. Then I move to Marcus Rashford. I'm coming to you, my guy. Stop it right now. Your ass, bro. Your ass. You've been doing this for the last 7 to 8 years. What are we doing here, bro? You're not a kid anymore. You're not consistent. And man, you have a very, very big decision to make. It's a lot of money, right? But he's not paying out. He's not panning out. That's our production. That's where we need our goals to come from. I don't care about the, 30 goal season he
Now,
had.
Shop, what are you suggesting?
You got to shop him, bro. You got to shop him. Teams will pick him up.
You send Rashford off, right? Big contracts if you can off. I'm in agreement with you. Do you do a rebuilding stage at this point? You've got
I mean, yes. That's what Ten Hag has been doing, right? The whole back line is different now, and we're seeing it. I think we have the pieces. Still some that we got to get maybe rid of, but it's working out. You're slowly moving up in the squad. Looking at that midfield now, there are issues right there, and then we get to our forwards, right? Anthony's still there, all this money. He's not doing a damn thing. Garnacho's still young, learning. Xerxes is good, right? You see what he's doing with the Dutch squad, but doesn't really seem to reflect and go with Man United. So what's the issue here?
It's early, bro.
No.
It's
Hear me out. Hear me out.
early.
Hear me out. When people are performing at different spots, but then the common denominator is Man United, I have to take a look, right? Jadon Sancho. I didn't bring it up. I'm bringing it up. We finally got rid of him, right, on loan to Chelsea. Stupid as hell. Why would you give him to another rival in the Prem for one? I don't understand that. Crazy. But we get rid of him. What are we doing here? You did the same thing with Mason Greenwood. You let
Being
you
at
let
you too. You
you
see how
let
good Greenwood's going off in France.
you let council culture, we gonna speak on it for real. People who want to be fucking internet warriors and be perfect in life and think they know the whole story say that we don't want a fucking player at Man United anymore. When I can go down history and say that we've had some players who've been doing some domestic things and quote unquote accusations. Accusations. We don't know the whole story. And
Definitely.
from my perspective, he wasn't found guilty. So what are we doing here? You can't be the judge and the juror, bro. Like it's crazy. And we're looking at it, the kid's going absolutely insane right now. Absolutely insane. Something we needed.
I think it's good that he's got a new chapter because Jordan, as much as I know you were a fan of Mason Greenwood and wanted to see him shine, I think on a PR aspect, he never stood a chance. That's all there is to it. What came out was enough for enough of people to
Oh yeah.
find him guilty
Oh
without
yeah.
all the facts. I'm not going to call him innocent or guilty.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that truthfully, I don't have all the facts. But there was enough stuff there for people to have made their decision. Once that was done, man, you have to look at their image. They're going to look at
And
their image, and they decided that Mason Greenwood is not worth that. Now, it's funny because when we're talking 20 years ago, their image for Ryan Giggs was
that's
definitely
what I'm
different.
saying, bro.
I
That's what
get
I'm
it.
saying. They pick and
I get it.
choose. And
I get it.
we gonna be real here. They pick and choose in England with who they condemn. It's very clear. It's very clear.
We've seen that. We've talked about
So
this, and this has
so
been
so so
obvious.
so for me, like with this whole shift in our culture and bringing in new players, right? I'm being real with y'all. I've noticed the players that we kicked out, and it's because they don't fit a certain standard that they want in Man United, and typically they're black players, bro. I'm gonna be real with you. Sancho, from fans, management, exiled. Paul, exiled. You feel me? Like, come on, bro. And it's all because like they don't fit to what we want. Mason Greenwood, another one. Like, come on, bro. It's cap.
Actually, I'm gonna stop you there because I'm gonna stop you there because I do recognize that there's been times where Man U and other teams have clearly shown that divide, which is not okay. In regards to the Paul Pogba situation or the Jadon Sancho situation, let's not get it confused. Jadon Sancho was found out partying, and so was Rashford nights before they were supposed to be at training or at the club. I don't think that is something that should be condoned, but other players have done it. They were not punished. These players were punished. They find any little bit of unprofessionalism and use it against them.
Yes.
They've used it against Jadon Sancho. They used it against Paul Pogba. However, with Paul Pogba, one of the most talented players. Okay, Jesse Lingard. I mean, you don't talk your shit about Rashford and then tell me how Jesse Lingard was hard done by. Respectfully, I mean, this man had better emotes than he had actual goals. I think that at the end of the day, yeah, I think we live in a world though, Jordan, where PR is everything to these clubs, and Man U wasn't gonna deal with it, and they just decided to cut their losses. It turns out it's another bad thing because even if you don't want to look at it on that end, I would actually point the finger at Ten Hag. It is amazing how much pleasure I get in watching Ten Hag destroy the system within. First off, he's got beef with Ronaldo. He doesn't like how Ronaldo acts. Okay. Now you got beef with Sancho. Oh, you don't like how Sancho acts. Okay. Now Rashford's acting up, but he still makes it in the starting lineup. Oh, okay. That's smart. I mean, we're getting to a point where, you're picking and choosing the battles. Nothing's new. I mean, people are like they see one little win and they think, oh man, he's back or something, or they make a big signing and they think, oh, it's going to fix everything. There are massive holes in this team. Not Goethe, not Lenny Yoro, and Hoyland. These signings seem nice, still not enough. Can't keep looking, like you said, at Kabi, put all this hype on Kabi, and then he's got he's got Casemiro to screw him over. The game against Liverpool, Kabi Mainu was actually decent. But it was two massive mistakes from Casemiro that got me to celebrate like no other.
And then you got Salah coming in doing what he doing. You know, interesting though. I didn't spin this to you yet, but we look at Arne Slot, right? Slot ball, and he came into a situation where the team was already good. You know, Klopp put him in a good position, and now we're seeing a different style, right? Because I can clearly see the play style is different. I see the identity, which is something I wish that Ten Hag kind of had with United. It's been 3 years now, I believe, and we still don't see an identity. We're still trying to figure it out. What is it? What's the type of ball we're playing? We kind of know that with slot ball. Do you think, this is an honest question, don't be mad at me now, bro, is he a Steve Kerr or is he a Greg Popovich? And if real fans of the game know what I'm talking about when I ask that.
You're saying I'm not going to say a Steve Kerr, because what I want people to remember is that Jurgen Klopp was an amazing coach for Liverpool. But if you want to look at about the last 2 seasons, we had major highs with the Champions League and Premier League win. After that, it started to kind of flutter a little bit. And even last season, near the finish, we were in a 3-horse race for the title until the second half of the season. I think at the end of the day, there started to show issues. We were having problems with getting the ball from the first third into our midfield and bringing it up to the final third. Our midfield was looking like an issue. There were things that we needed fixing. I of course was heartbroken about what happened with Klopp leaving, but I'm so happy about how Slot has turned the team so far. It's still so early to tell, but when you look at someone like Gravenberch, who's now healthy, getting to play, Jota, who's healthy and able to play, and the numbers look good, we seem like we get good ball and everyone plays well together, it makes me happy. But Arne Slot has gone ahead and changed the team for better already. Our midfield has never looked better in the last 12 months. In my opinion, this is the best our midfield has looked in the last 12 months. And I don't think there's many Liverpool fans who watch with me who are going to disagree with that. Gravenberch has been an absolute godsend since he stepped in, and I thought he's been excellent. I hope he stays healthy. I've always said that Szoboszlai is a major talent, and McAllister is class. Those three working hard with Salah and Diaz on this form, Arne Slot looks like he's looking like he's going to be closer to Popovich than Steve Kerr. But respectfully, again, I don't want to hype it up too much because it's not like we've played any super big names, respectfully, Jordon, other than Manchester United, which is a big rival.
Yeah, I mean, and
let's calm ourselves a little bit.
And for people, viewers and listeners who don't understand what I mean when I say Steve Kerr, Greg Popovich, Steve Kerr, came along with a squad with Golden State where Mark Jackson had already kind of established that, Steph Curry, Clay, kind of like pieces and stuff, right? And then he started winning. So some people try to critique him and say, that's a negative in a sense that he had a great team already. And then a Greg Popovich, for example, is someone who has a system and he keeps bringing in players constantly and they keep winning and producing. So Todd says he thinks Slot is heading more to the pop side than Steve Kerr. And objectively, I can say the same thing too. It just sucks. It fucking sucks, bro, that my rivals are playing absolute beauty of football, art, and I'm watching as a fan of my squad saying, what the fuck are we doing?
A lot of time to Ten Hag, and I find it interesting that earlier you mentioned that you see our identity with slot ball. We love to go forward, forward-minded, fast break, not necessarily the most in possession, but it's fun to watch.
Yeah.
And I think it's a perfect system for Arne Slot, and I think Arne Slot is a perfect system for Liverpool. We got those speedy wingers that can be able to play this counterattack ball. I don't know what Ten Hag's system is.
Yeah.
I don't know. And he's been here too long for rival fans or any fans to not really know what he's doing. It's funny because they both came from the same league, and y'all chose Ten Hag. You did it after bad managers before, and maybe that's why Liverpool are in such good hands now. Is because when Klopp was getting ready to leave, he helped make the choice with Arne Slot. They took their timing in deciding who they wanted, and they went for who they wanted right away.
Yeah, yeah. I do have another question for you. While we wrap this potty up, episode 81 of Best of Rivals podcast. Jordon J. Will, Todd EP. There's a lot of movement going on throughout the football world. Victor Osimhen, I brought him up saying who I wanted as my striker at Man United, and I kind of thought he was overrated, and I got a lot of hate for that. And what I meant by that with Victor, obviously, is not the playing aspect of him, but it's what he fucking wants, and he's gotten humble. Where is he at, Todd? Turkey. All that y'all talking about with Napoli and saying, oh, he's going to stay there. I told you he's going to leave because rumblings of him having problems with the media and not understanding, right? I was called a fool. No, Napoli's home. It's home. He in Turkey. Not the Prem. Not the Bundesliga. Not La Liga. He in Turkey.
Stop you right there. His buyout clause is $130 million. You're not going to pay $130 million. Liverpool aren't going to pay $130 million. Nobody's going to pay $130 million for Osimhen.
He's that good, right?
No, I think that's what Napoli did on purpose because they want to keep him. They have mentioned this before. They wanted him and Kertovic to be able to play up together. Now, at the end of the day, Osimhen is not interested in that, and I don't know if they're interested in him. They got Lukaku coming in there now, and it's time for different things. This is a one-year deal for him to get to play in Champions League, and he gets his wages taken off the books for Napoli. It's a good deal for Napoli, and Osimhen is I don't know the sides of it, but at the end of the day, he doesn't look like he wants to play for Napoli. He's been wanting to leave, and now they can sell him next year. He's going to Turkey, and he's going to put up historic numbers, and someone will buy him next year.
Stop. And that's no. That was the problem. We wanted him to go.
Let me finish. 7 minutes. 7 minutes. That's how long it took him in his first game back in over 12 months. He joins for Nigeria and scores in an AFCON qualifier in 7 minutes. He's got the sauce. He's a quality player. He is. I would love him on Liverpool if he was 60 or 75 million. But when we're talking about 130 million, brother, no.
He said, brother,
no.
All right.
No.
Moving past Vic, I'm going to go to your favorite player. Your favorite. Good old Raheem Sterling. Toddy.
Oh, my God.
How do you feel? A man that has played at every major club, it seems like, in England now. City.
He is a certified homie hopper. He is going from one person in the squad
Liverpool,
to the next. It disgusts me. Oh, my God. I already couldn't stand him because we got the same birthday, and he had my dream getting to be a Liverpool Academy kid. But no, you screw us one time, whatever. You go to Man City and you play your heart out, didn't work out, whatever. You go to Chelsea and they realize, oh, you know what? We signed 40-plus other players to replace you, and you immediately replaced by Pedro Neto, who already looked better than you, man. Fuck you, Raheem Sterling. But on top of that, what really does fucking suck is that he gets to go play for Arsenal. I don't know where he's fitting in, truthfully. I don't see him starting any games other than light cups. He's not better than Trossard. He's obviously not better than Bukayo Saka. And I guess the only reason they got him is because they let Reece Nelson go. Ooh, just hang it up. Go play in the MLS. Go bore someone else with your Velma running arms and nonsense. I can't stand them.
I have a little different sentiments than you do regarding Sterling. I think he's been done a little petty with this run of his career. I don't understand why. Raheem Sterling seems like a pretty good guy. You don't like him. I know you hate him. But he does seem like a good guy.
I still won't like that guy. Nope.
And he produced at Man City. We can look at the stats, the goals, assists. They speak for themselves. He won
does not finish well enough.
Oh, I agree.
It wasn't at Liverpool, and
right.
there was even issues at Man City, even at Chelsea near the end.
That's why Man City really targeted like Holland, right? Because Jesus and Sterling couldn't finish. They lacked finishers outside of when Aguero left and shit, right?
And now they're both on Arsenal,
which is fucking crazy. But I will say, Arteta may do something. He might sprinkle some brilliance.
I'll say this, even as a hater, I think he's a useful tool.
Yeah.
You've got a longer Champions League season now, right? Yeah. You're going to be playing 7 games. You need that. You don't know if you're going to have injuries. And if Arsenal do have injuries, you're going to need backups. Calafiori's already injured.
Yeah.
There goes your new center back.
Yeah.
Injuries happen, and with these long games, you got to have those backups. He's a great backup, and if he's willing to be a backup, then everyone's happy, I guess. But again,
got you.
Really?
My last one for you. When we get out of here, we got a very, very important American football game coming up. If you are a Chicago diehard, we got our quarterback of the future. Good Caleb Williams.
Nails painted and ready to play.
But we have the infamous, Player of the Year awards coming up. The Ballon. There was a snub in my opinion. I got to speak on it. First off, Jamal was not included with the nominees, and there were some names that I saw that weren't included. No Messi or Ronaldo for like the first time, and they shouldn't be, right? But we're in a new era now. Your quick thoughts. How do you feel?
There are names that deserve to be on there, but I think at the end of the day, the people who got snubbed were kind of like on the brink. I think Musiala deserved to be a nominee.
100%.
Up top 10, so it's one of those where it's like I feel bad because I know this is like something that you would have liked to be able to say that you were again another Ballon d'Or nominee or whatever. But at the end of the day, I don't really think that he was standing much of a chance anyway towards being even a top 10 player this coming year. So
that's not even the thing though. It's like he wasn't even a nominee, so I think it's past the top 10. Like it's 30, 20, whatever it is. He wasn't even included with that. And my problem is it has a lot to do with the bias. And typically the English and the Spanish teams always push their players. So that's why Jude Bellingham is fucking heralded as maybe the favorite, or Vinny, right? Not saying they shouldn't be, but then you have Jamal who plays for fucking a German squad and he isn't getting the same hype. It's fucking crazy.
I said this once and I said it again because we talked about it before. I think Rodri should win the Ballon d'Or. I think it should go to Rodri. I think the best player in the world right now is Rodri. He won the Euro. He's won the Champions League. He is the best defensive midfielder in the world currently.
Yes.
And that's coming from a Liverpool fans. If that means anything to these Man City fans, they'll recognize that at least I see the 10. But he's not going to win. He is maybe going to get third. Maybe.
Yeah.
Because it's going to go to Jude or it's going to go to Vinicius first. And we've said it again, the pedigree of Real Madrid, the bias of it being the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
But it should go to Rodri, and it won't. I can guarantee it.
All right, it's going to go to a Madrid player, 100%. They got the pool.
We're just now living in an era where we're not looking at we're looking at Vinicius numbers and calling that the Ballon d'Or winner.
Yes.
When we used to grow up watching Ronaldo and Messi numbers.
And that's where we got to end it.
With goals and assists combined, Messi and Ronaldo both averaged it over 120% on their goal contributions if you take their goals and assists from Real Madrid and Barcelona, respectively. These are not numbers we are seeing with Vinicius or any of these players. And I think that's why I'm so ready to point to someone like Rodri, who shows up in big games. We've talked about the titles that come with it. Everybody in the chat, feel free to let me know why Rodri shouldn't get it. Please tell me.
to finish us up, finish us off. I love that point because I think people need to understand that we are in a different era right now, right? And we did, and we're gonna really see it now as we get older that Messi Ronaldo shit was fucking otherworldly. You know, it doesn't happen. It does not happen,
Not we're not going to see a rivalry like that ever
right?
again.
But what it is now is like you have to look at the game in a different way. So it isn't how many goals or assists someone is doing, but it's how they're affecting the game, like Rodri is. It's a different way you're affecting the game, and that's the age we're living in right now. But I think that's really good for episode 81. My brother, man, I'm happy for you, dog. Got a new spot, dropping that music. Liverpool is still ass though. Will always be ass.
3 out of 3. How you doing? Oh, that's right.
But you guys already know. You gotta follow on the socials at the best of rivals. Always dropping content, videos, shorts, reels. I even got some writing too, you know. We going crazy, man. But we'll be dropping episode 82. Make sure you tune in. And Toddy, I shall see you soon, baby. We out.